I'm Rico Bullful, and this is Uncut News. Before we begin, do you have something you want to leak without revealing your identity? Send us a tip on WhatsApp on telephone number 659-6151. Now for tonight's news. I could be wrong, but I am starting to suspect that we have a fan in the office of the president. Only days ago I asked you all if public servants should all get a bonus. You all said yes, and lo and behold, on the last day of the year, we get news that the entire public sector, all 60,000 strong, will be receiving a $25,000 check from the government. So consider it a little stimmy for the new year, folks, or a late Christmas present. Either way, let's keep asking questions and maybe they'll consider them. Auditor General Deepak Sharma recently revealed that the oil and gas industry received tax exemptions totaling some $125.8 billion for the fiscal year 2019. These exemptions were allowed through Go Invest and the JGMC. VAT returns totaling $8.018 million were rejected. VAT refunds totaling $26.792 million were disallowed, while $2.1 billion in VAT returns are being processed by the GRA. Sadly enough, this isn't even because of some corruption or anything like that. Apparently, Jagdeo blames the terms of the 2016 PSA with ExxonMobil for the billions lost, explaining that the contract was just that terrible. The police are again asking you to snitch for the good of the community. Since they are now treating the disappearance of Hanswar Stoll, aka Redman, as a murder, they are currently looking for a tenant of the man's house, a 30-year-old man by the name of Leon Waddle, aka Mark. The police are accusing him of having murdered Stoll between November 15th and 16th, 2020 at the Dreamer Savannah in Karuru. Anyone with information that may lead to the arrest of Waddle is asked to contact the police or 911 or your nearest police station. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's car of the day. Currently on sale is this 2015 Suzuki SX4 S-Cross. It comes with all grip 4-wheel drive, steering controls, TV, navigation stereo, crystal lights, mag rims, fog lamps, and much more. Pay cash for $5.1 million, or pay down as low as $1,020,000 with around $98,000 monthly, and it's yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Row Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them Noriko sent you for this sweet deal. Remember during Pompeo's visit when the US and Guyana activated the ship rider agreement? Well, that same agreement gave the Americans permission to patrol Guyanese waters and airspace to fight quote-unquote drug trafficking. Now, all of a sudden, they said that illegal fishing is one of the greatest food security risks in the region, not ground and water pollution or corporate exploitation of developing nations or even corruption. No, illegal fishing. Believing this to be such a huge issue, the US Coast Guard has deployed a brand new patrol vessel, the USCGC Stone, for a multi-month operation in the Atlantic waters of Guyana and several other South American nations to counter illegal fishing and, well, whatever other excuse they're giving for outward shows of military aggression in the region. Today, the mechanic accused of killing a man over $700 was slapped with a manslaughter charge. Kester Lewis was not required to plead to the charge. The charge alleged that on December 29th at Durbin Street, he unlawfully killed 29-year-old David Barclay. According to a report, Lewis and Barclay were arguing over the cost of a tire repair when Lewis slashed Barclay's tire and attempted to drive off. Barclay grabbed onto the man through the window, causing him to lose control of the vehicle, slamming into several parked cars, killing Barclay, presumably on impact. Lewis was released on $300,000 bail, and the matter was adjourned to January 25th, 2021. The man who confessed to killing his spouse and daughter on Christmas was today remanded to prison. Joel Rodriguez was not required to plead to the charge, which detailed that on December 25th, at Princess Street Lodge, he beat to death his 34-year-old spouse, Tara Krishnahan, and her 11-year-old daughter, Larissa Singh. He was remanded to prison and is expected to make another court appearance on January 18th. Who said luxury can't be affordable? Move into your own home in 2021. Lenora Estates, West Coast Aurora properties are within your reach. Move out of the landlord's place and put that rent money towards your own 5,000 square feet property. Call the WhatsApp 592-618-5202 or +1 516-476-2172 for more info. A former GDF rank who was sentenced to 30 years in prison for murdering a baby boy in a house fire is now appealing his sentence, saying he's innocent. Nigel Dawson was found guilty of the January 23, 2017 murder of 8-month-old Romaine Seth, which occurred during a house fire in Caneville on the East Bank. According to reports, Dawson claimed to have misplaced a gun he had hidden in the people's yard. He then threatened to burn the house down and kill everyone in it if he did not find the gun. 2 days later, he allegedly returned to make good on his threat. Dawson becomes eligible for parole after serving a minimum of 25 years. It's now time for today's Runner Report. Today, the nation recorded 13 new cases. The total number of deaths now stands at 164. There are now 5 persons in the ICU and 337 persons in home isolation. The total number of known cases in the country is now 6,332. So please, people, wash your hands frequently. Avoid touching your nose and mouth and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds, and remember to give 6 feet of space between you and others. Now, let's take a look at news in the region. Venezuela is currently dealing with a serious money problem. Since a sudden liberalization of Venezuela's economy at the end of 2018, routine purchases increasingly have been made in US dollars rather than the South American country's virtually worthless currency, the Bolivar. This has now introduced close to $2 billion into circulation, causing headaches for most businesses and customers alike. Why? Because of a chronic shortage of denominations less than $20. This has forced businesses to come up with improvised workarounds, ranging from makeshift vouchers and customer IOUs to offer additional products in place of change. It has also created this weird situation in which 20 single bills are actually worth more than one $20 bill. Great news for those of you who are still looking for an affordable smartphone. Get the Logic L60 for just $20,000. It comes with 1-year warranty and free digital Prime bundle. Available at Cellular Plus in the City Mall, Regent Multiplex Mall, Starbucks Square, and Sunday opening at Massey Providence and Massey Turkine. Don't miss out. If you've got some friends in St. Vincent or even Martinique, you might want to check on them, after residents in both countries were advised to evacuate their homes today after 2 volcanoes, dormant for decades, came back to life and started spewing ash. The government raised the alert level to orange for the volcano La Soufrière, indicating that it could erupt within 24 hours, and recommended people who live nearby should leave their homes immediately. Meanwhile, in Martinique, the Mount Pelée volcano has seen an increase in tremors, prompting concern among residents. So fortunately for them, it hasn't started spewing ash yet, but they are still concerned. Authorities on the island have said a new volcanic eruption could be dangerous. The simultaneous uptick in activity of La Soufrière and Mount Pelée is not linked, according to scientists. And now for our weird news story of the day. Here's some bad news to those of us who have ever feared the possibility of your ceiling fan's blades snapping off, turning into a massive wooden ninja star. It seems like such a feat is entirely possible, and it is actually at the center of a new product recall. On Wednesday, Florida-based company King of Fans was forced to recall more than 190,000 of their 54-inch Mara ceiling fans after receiving 47 slightly terrifying consumer reports that the blades snapped off, including 4 counts of property damage and 2 poor unsuspecting souls alleging that they were actually whacked in the face by the rogue slobs. The fans were only sold between the months of March to October of this year, as if that period wasn't terrifying enough for everyone. Fortunately, no one has died yet. But if you bought one of these fans recently, I suggest you go seek a refund before your fan goes and gives you a jumpy lash right out of the sky. Moving on to our Uncut News Viewers Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So, you give your responses in the comments, and we just might read the best ones in the following episode. Yesterday's question was, what is your wish for 2021? Nicholas Pazio said, the only thing I want for 2021 is for the cost of living to go down, because the average amount of money earned by individuals in Guyana can barely pay bills. Amen. Beyond the Image said, what I'm looking forward for in 2021 is my first ever international meet with a now developing rivalry between myself and a para-athlete from Australia. It's rare to see a para-athlete being accepted into a European club. And the best of luck to you with that dream. Stacey Hamilton said, I expect my $25,000 for the new year, and that our Guyana dollar rise with all our resources and now oil, and still our money is crap. Oh, and enough vaccines for the nation. Well, of course, we all need that. And finally, Call Somewhere says, well, for 2021, I hope to get a better high-paying job. I hope the government and opposition get a plan to work with each other to make life for Guyanese better. I wish you all a prosperous and happy new year. Right back at you, Call. Right back. So, tonight I leave you with this question. We made it to the end of the year, so I want to know, what would you like to see us cover on this news more often in 2021? Think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. It's Old Year's Day, so check us out Monday for another episode. Until then, I'm Noriko Bullford saying, have a happy new year. Stay safe, show your family some love, and remember, you made it to the end of the hardest year we've ever experienced. And as always, don't drink and drive, or you'll end up on Monday's episode the hard way. Ha ha! Good night, folks. Hey, Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.